some updates here to earthquake activity and some new information here pertaining to the Sierra's eastern front, an area here along California and Nevada's border that is said to be long overdue for a big earthquake. Now, they expect a magnitude 7 event to take place here every 30 years, but one has not occurred here in the past 6 decades. So, with everything that's been going on with earthquake activity here as of late, I think it's good to make note of certain areas here that are overdue. The New Madrid itself is overdue in the United States, as well as many other places. Volcanic activity, you could look at somewhere like Yellowstone, which is also overdue to erupt. And you have situations like that around the globe. Now, we've seen an uptick in significant earthquakes, major earthquakes, here recently. Ecuador and Japan both getting hit with quakes. But what we've seen here today is off the coast of Ecuador, another magnitude 6.2 strikes. We had a 5.6 strike out here off the coast, and these are the ones you want to watch for when they start to pop up off of this, because the east coast of the United States is always quiet. Sometimes you'll see Jamaica, Virgin Islands, always with the swarm. Very rarely are they hitting inside the Gulf of Mexico or anything like that. But as you can see here, I believe originally Barbados is where it was listed, the closest place. But over here, we have action in the Canary Islands of 4.2. And this is an area people will have to pay attention to. La Palma, this whole area, and we'll zoom in here. One of these spots here is responsible for a massive tsunami that happened a long time ago, and I believe it's right here. They're not going to show us, but the whole section here gave way and slid into the ocean and caused a massive tsunami. And that's what they talk about when it comes to the Canary Islands. Something happening here to where an earthquake could trigger something like that again and send a tsunami all the way across the ocean. 4.2, decent quake. Looks to be the lone quake that's popped off. And we have some activity out here. 3.8 off of Canada. All in the past 8 hours. And these are areas that don't normally see quake activity. We have seen swarms in the past around the Canary Islands, but as far as these other places, never seen a quake there. Specifically, never seen one right here. I've seen them down here off the coast of Brazil and on the ridge lines all the way down into the Serpent Heads, Teeth, and across the ridge line up into Madagascar, up these cuts, Indian Ocean, and of course Indonesia. This section of the Ring of Fire always active with 4 to 5 grade or magnitude quakes. Now, of the most active is Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, Solomon Islands. And a place that's been very quiet as of late is where this all cuts right down to and through is New Zealand. I think here in the past week we may have saw one quake south of Australia pop off, but New Zealand is a place that's been very quiet and known for some earthquake activity. And like I said last time in the other earthquake update, there are swarms that continue in the Alaska area, but nothing significant. Pacific Northwest, Juan de Fuca, BC, British Columbia. It's been very quiet for some time. Every so often you may see a 5, upwards of a 6 hit off of this plate here in one of the cuts. And it looks like here just south of Yellowstone, There looks to be two little quakes that have popped up right southeast of the Snake River, right off this ridge line. 2.5 5 hours ago, 2.4 2 hours ago. Not showing any other quake activity. We know there's a lot more than that going on there. But that's a look at the quake activity globally. Chile, this pinch section down here that usually sees bigger quakes, has been quiet as well. Bolivia, Peru, Chile. This is an area we've seen the animal die-offs. And it's just been oddly quiet, just kind of like how Guatemala and these other places, Costa Rica, Panama, they were before quakes started hitting right off their coast. And they can march right on up into the Gulf of California. But that's a look at the recent quake activity. Wanted to make people aware of some of the newer quakes that have popped up here. And I will leave links for all this in the description box and continue to keep you guys posted with more info as I come across it. This has been Dabu7.